Hi there, just read this disclaimer please.
Alright folks, so I think I mentioned it in the last video that I was going to wait and see if people reported back any issues with the Trading 212 partially transferring in their ISA. I asked on Reddit if anyone had experience with it yet, and I didn't get any responses, so I'm guessing not many people have. I don't know. So, but then I figured, well, what's the worst that can happen? And it'll make a video, won't it? So maybe I'll be the guinea pig. So I figured I'll record the process. So what I've done is I've kind of been having a think. I was just going to do my cash, because the main reason I want to do this sooner rather than later is because I've still got about £9,000, I think it is, in the Fundsmith fund. So I was just going to do this, the ultra short bond, which is essentially just cash, because that's almost enough to do that £9,000-ish that's in the Fundsmith fund still. But then I was like, oh well, at some point it would be nice if I could get these holdings in there as well, because these are ones that are kind of they're kind of in the blue play area. Actually, Schroeder Oriental Income shouldn't be blue, to be honest. That's kind of a long-term holding. But these ones, they're kind of my play fund money, aren't they? And it would be logical to put those in Trading 212. I was kind of looking through the holdings that are in the iWeb ISA, and I think these are the ones I want to transfer over to Trading 212. So they're worth about £29,000 in total. And if you add that to the £16,000 that's already in there, it leaves me a good buffer before I reach the £85,000 guarantee. Because if Trading 212 goes bust and they also are kind of naughty and don't segregate our funds from their own funds, that's the guarantee we have. So that's kind of the worst case scenario. So the first thing I've already done is I went to the website. Sorry, wrong one. That's the one. I went into more, and I went into, where is it? Trading instruments here. I selected ISA. So yeah, I just kind of went through each one, and I made sure that the maximum position size here is big enough to handle my position, and for all of these, plenty big enough. So there's no issue there, and obviously they exist on Trading 212, which is obviously a requirement. I'm also going to transfer as much of that cash as possible. It's a little bit annoying because it seems like you have to put in a pound amount. You can't just say whatever cash is in there, transfer, which I'd rather do that, because there'll probably be a few hundred more in there by the time it happens, because the timescale is about 30 days. I'll just start doing it. So we go to the menu there at the side. We go to, I've already started to do this and then cancelled it and decided to make a video. Transfer portfolio incoming. It says that it's, that's the other thing. I've emailed with someone at iWeb, and I've emailed, well, I got a chat bot, but also it says paperless there anyway. I've double checked with iWeb, and they said that from their side it's paperless as well. So, because I'm abroad obviously, I wouldn't want to start this and then suddenly realise there's something I need to fill out and sign with pen and post in the mail. So, but they, both sides have assured me there's no postage needed, so I'll get started. And you select iWeb. I'm a little bit nervous that the 3 zeros at the beginning there are going to confuse matters, but that's how iWeb give the account code, so I hope that's how they expect them to be received in the transfer request. Stocks and cash in specie, so that means you're transferring actual investments, not just cash. In specie, it's not the current tax year, because the current tax year has gone into Trading 212, not iWeb. It's the previous tax years, and it's a partial transfer. So I'll click next. Any uninvested cash? Yes, I do. I mean, 370 is what's in there. So the first one is Barclays, and then make sure that it's the London Stock Exchange one. So Barclays 1369, which matches what I've got in my spreadsheet, 1369. Number of shares, 1369. Hang on a sec, did that comma come from, let's delete that one. Okay, so it gets added by trading 212. Yeah, okay. Average purchase price, specify a price, that's cool. Keep me logged in. That's cool. So it doesn't, because I've done a transfer a long time ago and it reset my average cost. So the information, I think it's in iWeb actually. I think it was from Alliance Trust to iWeb. And so because of that, the cost price isn't right. It's none of these though, I don't think. Average cost 271.56. I happen to know that you can't put in more than 2 decimal places. Yeah, you can't add any more. That's why I didn't copy and paste it. Add to asset list. I presume that means pence, because that is in pence, yeah. But why is the P at the beginning? Maybe that's the way it happens in other countries and they've got confused on the app. 271.56. Next. Oh no, I've clicked the wrong thing. Add asset, okay. Right, that was nearly a mistake, wasn't it? Gore Street Energy Storage. $4485 GSF. Gore Street Energy Storage. I presume it would tell me here if I was asking to transfer too many. 4485, because it seems pretty automated, this, doesn't it? Specify a price. 64.65. So it's not going to be exact. 64.65. Oh, for that one it only accepts 1 decimal place. Is that right? Yeah, 6 is the, if you round it, that's the right one. 64.6. That's weird that that's only 1 decimal place. $4485. Bit nerve-wracking this. 4485. I shouldn't really record a video, should I? I should concentrate fully on doing this. Or just forget that you're there. View asset. Gore Street Energy Storage. Add asset to list. Okay. And the reason I want this one in Trading 212 is because the dividend gets paid in US dollars. And iWeb charges 1.5% for the currency exchange fee. So I definitely want that one in Trading 212, who only charge 0.15%. Number of shares, 84. That's weird, isn't it? Suddenly that one goes to 4 decimal places being accepted. 69.15. ERNS. Ultra short bond. Oh, that's asking for £1 now instead of pence. So it's just iWeb that seems to do it in pence and everyone else does it in pounds. Oh, there's one on the New York Stock Exchange as well, with the same ticker, London Stock Exchange. Yeah, and that's definitely the UK one. 1972, 3333 pence, or 333 pence. Add to asset list. Right, let's go through it all. Schroeder Real Estate, 6670.56, 271.56. Okay, that looks good. Next. We are ready to go. Please review the documents below and confirm the transfer. Okay, so all that's done is just create a form. I presume it's a PDF form. View and sign form. So if I click there, is it going to download? Oh no, it's just going to show it me. Do we get that number? No, we don't. I'm just wondering whether it shows me on iWeb this ISIN number so we can just verify it's the same one. If I click into it, I wonder if it tells me if I click there. No, it doesn't tell me. Okay, so I've just gone through all of this document, making sure everything was correct. So now I guess I just sign and submit. Man, it's nerve-wracking, this. I think it's because I've heard so many stories about people where the two brokers just will not communicate effectively. So I am a bit nervous about this, to be honest. But on the plus side, I don't plan on selling or changing any of these investments within the next 6 months. I mean, yeah, no, I don't know. If any changes I would have made, and I might not be able to because of this transfer taking too long, wouldn't have been a big deal. They would only have been at the edges, small percentages of my portfolio. So even if there is something I want to do within the next few months, but I can't because the process gets delayed, it's not the end of the world. Right, okay, so transfer request submitted. I've got something on my phone. Yeah, that's just an email being sent to me. I'm hoping that document has also been emailed to me, so I've got a record of it. Okay, so those emails I received were just telling me that I can track the transfer here, which is pretty much where I already was on the app anyway, or the website. Incoming, so I guess reviewing request. Okay, so it's just at the beginning, so I guess if I click in here, I'll be able to check on the progress as it goes. Transfer request review usually takes up to 7 business days. We will notify you when it's done. Oh, I think maybe these are just later in the process. Yeah, that's obviously what it'll be. These are obviously the 3 stages, and at the moment these are blank. There's nothing underneath them because they haven't got that far yet. I've just got another little blop on my phone. It says, we have an update on your portfolio transfer. I mean, that should be on the app as well, the website here as well. Why haven't I got that notification there? I would have thought it would be the same. Why is it coming on my phone, but not here? Assets 007. Oh, so it could happen in piecemeal then, by the looks of that. So maybe at some stage 1 or 2 of them will come through, and it'll be like 2 out of 7. Documents. That's the form I just reviewed. What's next? Right, and I've had a little notification on my phone saying there's an update on this transfer, but I don't think there is, because I haven't got any notification here, have I? I wonder if I just refresh the page, that'll turn up. Okay, so I guess I just wait then, and I'll check in when there's an update on it. Okay, well here's the first update. Literally a few seconds later, I just went back into it to check portfolio transfers. It says contacting broker. So now it's already made it through the first phase. I guess that must have been an automated check. They were probably just checking that yes, we do let you hold that investment, and yes, it's not above the maximum allowed amount. Probably it's probably what I checked before I started, and it must be automated because it happened within 30 seconds or so. Well, probably a couple of minutes of me actually submitting the request. Transfer remain to your old broker takes up right. So this bit takes up to 2 weeks. Yesterday I saw this post on Reddit talking about it just lingering forever, their transfer. So it kind of prompted me to get vigilant early in this process. I requested my transfer on the 8th of May, I think. And I got a letter. I got a letter through the post. Well, a picture of a letter from my sister, telling me that iWeb had written to me on the 10th of May, telling me that the fees will be zero, and on receipt of those fees, they'll reply to Trading 212. But since the fees are zero, I was a bit confused. What is actually going to trigger them getting back to Trading 212 if I'm not paying a fee? So I decided to ring them using my Keep Calling app on my phone, and they said, "Oh yeah, don't worry about that. We have replied to Trading 212," and the guy said we offered them the 15th of May to, I can't remember the exact word. It might have been settle. I can't remember the exact word, but basically 15th of May to get it all done, which is really early as far as I'm concerned. That would have been a week, really quick. But if you look at that, and what he said was, but we've not had a reply from Trading 212. But to me, if they're offering them of the 15th on the 10th, that's 3 working days for Trading 212 to reply. But because Trading 212 are busy, maybe they're not having a chance to get back to them. And then once they do get back to them, they ask for another date, and that date's too soon, and they don't get back to them again. That's my theory on why some people might be having issues getting their transfers done. So I told the iWeb people, I said to them, look, that's a pretty quick turnaround. You know, if Trading 212 are busier than normal, you're only giving them 3 days to reply to you, and then you have to start asking for another date. I said to them, look, I'm not in a major rush, so just offer them a date that's a bit further out, maybe a week or two. I don't mind, I can wait. I'd rather it get done within a few weeks rather than them aim to get it done within 1 week and keep failing because they're not responding quick enough. So that's the state of affairs anyway. Alright, so it's 21st of May, and I've just had an email from Trading 212 telling me that there's an update and I should log in to see what the update says. Here we go, portfolio transfer. Right, so it's just that's got a tick now. So incoming asset allocation takes up to 2. Individual assets will arrive at different times. You will see them in your portfolio as soon as they arrive. Okay, so there's no sentence telling me what's happened, is there? It's just kind of moved on to the next stage with a tick there now. Okay, that's good. I'm glad it's working. I was a bit worried when I rang up iWeb and they told me that they'd asked for the 15th and they hadn't had a response. I thought they were just going to get stuck in a holding pattern. But I'm glad it's starting to happen now. Alright, I'll check in later. While I was out on my walk this morning, I had a few notifications from Trading 212, so it looks like things have happened. So I figured I'd log in and see what's going on. Alright, so there we can see that number is significantly bigger. So here are the notifications that I got while I was out and about a few hours ago. Okay, so as it said, it's happening gradually. Well, actually, let's have a look. Schroeder Real Estate came in, NatWest came in, Gore Street came in. That was 2 hours ago. Barclays came in, and then that's what the second notification was. An hour later, it seems, or roughly. Oh, I guess the ETFs were on a different schedule to the individual shares. So I guess if I go into here, oh yeah, 6 out of 7. So I guess the last one's cash. Okay, so that's good. Seems like it's working. I guess we should just check the details, shouldn't we? So I've got the information here. 1369 Barclays. 1369 Barclays. Right, so it's just the cash then. Right, the other thing I wanted to check was I've written down. Oh, actually, this might tell me already. I went and checked all of these about when they were going ex-dividend. Mid-May, mid-August for Barclays. End of June. I mean, we're on the 24th of May, aren't we? So yeah, we're fine. Okay, that's cool. So there's no having to wait for any dividends to come in because none of them are ex-dividend at the moment. That's cool. It would have been annoying to have had to wait because sometimes the ex-dividend date is like a month or two before the actual payday. and that could have caused it to kind of linger on, just waiting for iWeb to send the dividend payment. Whenever iWeb send me cash, it takes them about 2 to 3 working days. So I think it's 370 quid I told them to transfer. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in a couple of days' time or 3 days' time or something, just because of how slow they are sending people cash. Oh, and obviously, just to check iWeb, make sure, and I can confirm that they've all left there. Okay, so it's the Friday the 31st of May, and I logged into my iWeb account this afternoon and noticed that it seems like the cash has left the iWeb account. Still 6 out of 7. So I guess that must have happened very recently in iWeb, but it hasn't yet shown up in Trading 212. Alright, so 3rd of June, just got a notification from the app telling me that the cash had come through. Oh yeah, and I've got emails as well to my Hotmail account. And as we can see, all done. Transfer complete. Now, where's the cash? Well, I can see that the total value has gone up. I guess it's notifications here. Oh yeah, there we go. So the 370's arrived, and everything's gone through. Yeah, not much else to say really. Right, so the transfer started on the 8th, and it's been 1, 2, 3 weeks. So 2 days less, so 26 days, 2 days less than the 4-week kind of limit they give you. It's a bit annoying. I don't quite understand why it took so long to send the cash. I mean, everything else arrived, was it the 24th? I think everything else arrived. I can't remember. Anyway, 9 days ago. So everything else arrived 9 days before the cash. And I mean, to me, the cash seems like the simplest thing out of all of them to transfer. There's no third party to mess around with. It's just iWeb and Trading 212. There's no third party like person to communicate with there. So the cash should have been quickest, really. But it just feels to me like iWeb get interest on that cash, which I don't. So they delayed it as long as possible. And it seems to me that they sent it on Friday. Worst case scenario, it will take 3 working days to get to me. So the worst case scenario, it would have got there on the 5th, which is exactly 4 weeks from when I asked for the transfer. So it seems to me like they're being a bit snide there and just holding on to the cash as long as possible, but still meeting the criteria of 4 weeks. That's the only disappointing thing about it, really. So, I mean, I guess the moral of the story is put as much of your cash as possible into something like I did, which was, well, I put most of the cash into this iShares Ultra Short Bond ETF and transferred that. And that was quicker than the actual cash that got sent as well. Of course, that cost you a £5 though, so you need to make sure it's enough money that you make back the £5 in the growth or the interest, or the coupons of that ultra short bond fund. So obviously the 370 quid that I sent in cash wouldn't have been in that fund long enough to make up for the £5 anyway. So it's just the kind of principle of it that's a bit annoying, really, more than the actual reality. So that's it. Portfolio transfer done. Now, that intervention I made when I rang up iWeb, it's impossible to say. I mean, the chances are it had no effect whatsoever, the chances are. But who knows, Maybe they did listen to what I said, and maybe what I said to them did make a difference, but it's impossible to know. I'm probably giving myself too much credit, though, to be honest. If I came away with that conclusion, it probably would have worked fine without my intervention. I'm sure they've done this many times before, so they don't need me telling them. Alright, that's it then. Not much else to say, really. The transfer went reasonably well, I think. All done within 4 weeks. And the next step might be transferring things into my general investment account. I'm not sure if that costs money, because I'd like to get Barclays and GSK out of Hargreaves Lansdown because it's going to cost me 11 quid. Suddenly 11 quid seems a lot, considering you don't pay anything with Trading 212. So I think I might transfer from my Hargreaves Lansdown general investment account to the invest account in Trading 212. That's what I might do at some point. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.